Okay, gents, content delivery is maybe something that the average consumer doesn't think about. Getting those bits to the viewer. Maybe some of the audience has heard terms like buffering or jittering or stuttering. We're professionals, so we've seen it. But let's talk a little bit about getting the content to the user. Comcast, as an organization, has the technologies to deliver that content to our cable audience. And as a technology solution provider, we're able to leverage some of that same technology to deliver those bits to the viewer. Let's talk a little bit about our CDN and how we service those viewers.
There's a wealth of experience that's been built up over time. But what you want to have is really the value we get with Comcast is our existing footprint and infrastructure that we have with Xfinity and the X1 user base. So from a customer perspective, we're able to get that content out to the edge, deployed across our entire network that we have for X1 and Xfinity. The challenge there that they have is really how do they get that performance for their content? So we start to see the industry shift towards a multi-CDN fabric where you really want to make sure that your content is highly performant and highly available. And how do you do that? You consider that with multi-CDN. So you're not just, your infrastructure is not exposed by a single point of failure. You've really got coverage across the entire network. And that's really the benefit that we see with Comcast is that infrastructure that we have across X1 and Xfinity.
Yeah, and it makes me think, we'll go back again to live linear, one of my favorite topics. It's kind of like I tell people walking on a high wire. You got one chance to get it right. You can have a net underneath you, but you kind of get the gist. But live news and sports come to mind. Those are immediate. You don't get a second chance to do those. So let's talk a little bit about our ability to take someone's live channel or someone's live event, process that in the right way, and using, to your point, either the Comcast CDN or multiple CDNs, we can deliver that to massive audiences. Joe, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, so you hit on something I think that was really important, that we are Comcast and we have that expertise on delivering that content real time to our users, and we want to bring that expertise to market and really take advantage of the facilities and the infrastructure and the operations that Comcast has. So a live event, we have a number of ways to capture live events. Whether it's directly from the production facility over satellite and into our operations facilities, but also utilizing the internet and some of the newer technologies, reliable UDP technologies to acquire content that are fast and secure and reliable, and bringing them in to be processed real time. And that's what Comcast does very well, is processing that content. Bringing that content into our facilities and making it ready to be able to be distributed in sub 1 second, and doing that to thousands of eyeballs, right? And so we take advantage of delivering that content, and as Peter's talking about, to our CDN. And so as that content comes in live and is processed, with the eyes on glass monitoring and making sure that that stream is up and those bits are not lost from one end to the other, and delivering that into the CDN.
Great explanation.
Yeah, and I just add to that, I think you'd probably say too, Joe, that we've seen a shift in terms of the traditional satellite acquisition. Really now, a lot of the conversations are around IP contribution.
That's right.
You talked about reliable UDP in, but also reliable UDP out to the customer or the CDN where they're processing that content. And that's really what we've seen is prevalent in a lot of discussions with customers that we're having.